All right, welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and I'm excited to be playtesting some IG-88 decks today. As usual, every Tuesday we do a live stream where we go through and we find a couple of hot decks focusing on one leader. Today is going to be IG-88, and I have some of the links to the decks we're going to be trying out in the description down below. I usually pick two that have the most votes on Star Wars Unlimited database. And and then I make one myself. So I also try to make sure we find some of different color aspects so we can see how things play out. And IG-88's been one of those I've been wanting to do for a bit. So let's just go ahead and start there on what IG-88 can do, talk about some synergies we're seeing in some other decks, and then we'll start just messing around with them here on Force Table. So excited to be messing around with IG-88 because he is one of my favorite characters. Maybe not one of my favorite cards in the set, but one of my favorite characters in Star Wars universe. I'm pretty familiar with most of the lore, except for some stuff we see in the comic books in the Bounty Hunters series that Marvel has been producing since we've gotten to new canon. So there's some stuff about IG-88 I'm not familiar with. For the most part, people are now more familiar with the IG series of droids, thanks to shows like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, those types of things where we see someone like IG-11, and a couple of other IG droids throughout the years. So really great to kind of see this droid getting a little bit more screen time essentially in the universe. Now IG-88 is one of those who went on to do more bounty hunter missions, very independent, as opposed to what we've seen from other IG series droids, which are usually hired for specific missions. I love seeing this. One of my favorite things in the old canon, though, was IG-88 was a series of like 4 droids in the Legends series. And I believe, I don't think I'm mistaken here, but I may be, the last IG-88 droid, you end up taking care of one on Ord Mantell with Dash Rendar in the Shadows of the Empire series. But the last one is seen later in the Young Jedi series, I believe, where he takes over like a whole space station. So IG-88 was definitely one of those droids they used a lot in the Legend series. So I'm really hoping we see him a little bit more frequent. And again, I'll be checking out Marvel's Bounty Hunter series to kind of see what we get from IG-88 there. Now, IG-88 in Star Wars Unlimited, he is a leader that comes out after 5 resources. He's red and black, so aggression, villainy, and he has an action ability where you can attack with a unit. If you control more units than the defending player, attacker gets +1/+0 for this attack. So, like many leaders, his ability is not static, meaning you need to trigger it in some way to make it work. And your condition is, do you have more units than your opponent? Unlike other leaders with the tap ability, you're not really cheating to do more actions in a turn. You're just getting a +1 bonus, which could make a difference when you attack. So it really does. When you're going up against some stuff, you're like, wow, I need to hit this thing for, let's say a Katina Braggart, right? And you only have a 2 damaging unit. Katina has 3 health. It's great to just kind of clear the board there, take out the unit without having to suffer any of the other penalties of the Katina Braggart having its raid bonus. So now when IG is on the field, when he's deployed, his stats are 5/4, which you can see there in the corner. And he now makes this ability a static ability, meaning it affects the board as long as he's in play, where all units you have raid +1 as long as you have more units than your opponent. So the 3 decks we're going to be looking at today are definitely unit heavy. That's very important with an IG-88 deck. You also want to try to figure out your own curve of, are you going to be able to play a unit every turn? Better. Can you play 2 units a turn, right? If you're drawing 2 cards, you want them to both be units and kind of keep your bonuses there. The problem you're going to find with IG-88 though, and I've talked about this if you've watched any of my sealed streams or draft streams, is he only has 4 health. And 4 is not a healthy number in this game. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that can take him out. So you almost want to play IG-88 as aggressive as you can, depending on your matchup, or set him up for a little bit of that mid-range, get to a good spot where you have 4 or 5 units in play, your opponent has less, or better yet, none. Then put your IG-88 into play and swing with everybody for that extra bonus. So you kind of got a couple of options here, and we're going to be trying them out. Let's just go ahead and hop to it. We're going to be trying out the first deck here is going to be not mine. I always like to try out with other people's. And that is IG-88, 88 Problems by Hollow. And we're going red, green, and black just to get a feel of what they're playing here. I'm seeing Agent Callus, Two Tubes, classic there, Colonel Yularen, Death Star Stormtrooper, Jedha Agitator with the Saboteur, Vanguard Infantry, Viper Droid, and the new recently revealed Wolf, one of the fringe clones we're seeing there, also with Saboteur. So we're seeing 24 ground units, not, what are we saying, like four uniques. Now space units, it's the same thing. It's important to kind of go wide here. When we talk about going wide, we're talking about putting more units on the board from your opponent. That's kind of, again, what you want to do to really maximize the threat that is IG-88. So we're seeing 17 space units. That's not bad. It gives you some options. We're seeing the Star Viper to give you restore, the shuttle, which is really great. So Imperial Interceptor, which has an on-play ability to deal 3 damage to another unit in space, the V-Wing to draw cards, Starwing Scout to draw cards, TIE Fighter, low-cost unit, and 3 events. So these are 3 great events: Overwhelming Barrage to help you clear the board, Prepare for Takeoff to keep your hand filled, and Tactical Advantage to kind of give you that extra +2 to get you probably over the line. So I think everything in here is really good. What you're not seeing in this green matchup is stuff like Resupply or Super Laser Technician. It makes sense. Your curve is going to be really low. I think our highest costing card is Overwhelming Barrage, which again, this should be one of those like towards the end you play this, and or when you just desperately need to clear the board. But yeah, so I'm excited to try this deck out. We're going to select this as ourself here on Force Table, and our opponent can be, we don't need to go something super difficult to begin with, like a aggressive Sabine. Let's go with the Tarkin. Let's go with the Tarkin we've played before here on stream. Tarkin Big Command by Surge. It's a green, black. We'll select that as player 2. We'll set up the board, and we'll try out this deck by Hollow. All right, board is set up. We're not going to take a mulligan. We want to try out this deck here. Again, we're testing out IG-88. Comes into play after 5 resources to give the static ability of Raid 1 for all your other units. So I think, again, we want to take advantage of that. We don't want to put them out too early. We want to make sure we have a good board presence. Hollow is running Energy Conversion Lab, which is going to give us a little bit of that ambush to take care of something that maybe is difficult. And we're going up against a Tarkin, a green, black deck. So we can expect them to be ramping and making their units pretty big. Again, I don't think IG-88 is going to be top tier when the game comes out, but I think there's a lot of options there. He's a great bounty hunter. He looks great. And I think he can probably surprise a few people in some matches, but maybe we'll see some more support as the last, I want to say 50 cards are revealed over the next month. So, all right, we got to drop something though. We have a good amount of things we can drop turn 1. That's great. 2 Tubes is going to be a great bonus. Agitator is going to be good. Death Star Stormtrooper. Really, there's a lot here to pick through. I think we're going to drop the Probe Droid, and I'm going to drop Yularen. Can be a good setup and pull away some of the hate there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 2 Tubes. So either way, whatever we play, the opponent's should want to take care of pretty quickly. They understand that we get more bonuses as long as we have more units. So let's just go ahead and draw a card first. See what we get. Another probe droid, and we'll pass. Opponent did play Admiral Piet. That's all right. Good health there, but we don't have to worry about that till they get closer to 6 resources. All right, we're going to drop a unit. I think, again, let's get rid of the probe droid here. We have 3 resources, so we can play at least 2 units. Out comes the Veers. +1/+1. All right. We could take care of that Veers really quick with this Stormtrooper. I don't mind being aggressive. It's not a bad play, especially if they play out like a cell block guard. That would be a 4/4 with Sentinel, and that's not something I want to deal with. So we may just do that. Now, it may seem like a waste to use the conversion lab so early, but most of our units kind of top out around 3. So let's just go ahead and do that. Put the pressure on him a little bit. We'll play the Death Star Stormtrooper. He will die. Trigger ambush, yes. And we'll swing right into Veers. Get rid of that +1/+1. Tarkin can't put a 1/1 counter on anything because he's tapped out. And we'll take 1 point of damage. No big deal there. Let's go ahead and wait to attack so we have more units than our opponent. We'll put Yularen out just to get that 1 piece of health back. Put us back at 25. And now, here's the hard part. You never want to rush with IG-88 because you do need a tap to do this ability. So, or exhaust. So exhaust IG-88. Give the V-Wing +1 raid, as long as we have more units than our opponent, and hits it for 2. So we slow down a little bit. Opponent gets to go first. And we have the exact same amount of cards in hand, but we have more cards in play than them. All right, I think this time we're going to drop the TIE Fighter. Kind of like everything else here, the ability to search for cards with Prepare for Takeoff, the V-Wing to draw. AI is going to go ahead and play Snowtrooper Lieutenant. Really want to get rid of my Yularen, so they do, making Admiral Piet take 2 damage himself. That is okay. Let's go ahead and draw a card. Ooh, Overwhelming Barrage. So there we go. That's enough damage to kind of take care of some stuff as long as we put something a little bit bigger in play. Now we have 2 units. They have 3. I really want to take advantage. Or sorry, they have 2. We have 2. So let's change that up. And now we can use IG-88's ability and get that raid bonus. So again, IG-88 for an aggressive leader makes you feel like you're playing a little slow, but you don't want to forget that you don't want to forget that you need to exhaust him to trigger the ability. That's essentially it. All right. All good choices. We drew an Agent Callus who's going to have ambush, probably take care of that Piet, as well as draw us a card. Starwing Scout, as long as we have initiative, we can draw 2 cards, and it hits for 4. I think we're going to drop the Scout, though, because we have a Prepare for Takeoff, so we can search for 8 vehicles, or sorry, 2 vehicles among 8 cards. So let's drop the Scout, and we can activate Tarkin this turn. Or sorry, IG-88 this turn if necessary. All right, opponent does the same thing. They play an Overwhelming Barrage and clear the board. I don't mind that. So they paid 5 to deal 3 damage. Honestly, yes, we lost 3 units, but I'd rather them do that before Tarkin, or sorry, before IG-88's out or Callus is out, anything like that. So a little annoying. That's okay. We can be also annoying. We'll just Agent Callus here, trigger the ambush, and let's swing on that Admiral Piet and get him out of play. Oh, yes, Piet has that +2/+2. I forgot about that. So Callus does not clear him. However, Piet will leave the field after the end of the turn. So I can put IG-88 out now, take some damage, and probably die, or I'll just take all the hits. I think we're going to take all the hits here. No big deal. We'll take the initiative. Drop down to 23. Piet will hit us for 3 more, drop us to 20, and Snowtrooper Lieutenant will drop us down to 16. So we're down by 10. No problem there. So again, we have the Overwhelming Barrage, which is nice. We have 2 Overwhelming Barrage, which is nice. And we've hit 5, which honestly is kind of like a really good limit. Considering we have both our high cost cards in our hand already. IG-88 comes out as a 5/4, so IG-88 could do 7 damage with Overwhelming Barrage, but we may hold off. Let's see what our opponent does here. We're going to put down... We're definitely going to need this ground unit. We'll put down the V-Wing. Just to give us a little bit more options. Let's... Yeah, let's play the Jetta Agitator. Put a unit in play. The AI may want to swing on it. Or they play a command. They give 2 experience tokens to Grand Moff Tarkin, and then they deal damage to a unit. So that's all right. So Tarkin is a little bit stronger, but we got that out of their hand. Let's do a prepare for takeoff. Search our deck. We see a Starwing Scout and a Star Viper. So the Star Viper will heal us a bit. The Starwing Scout will give us some cards as long as we can keep the initiative. So we'll take both of those. Neither of them can be played this turn. We'll get hit by Tarkin, who's going to make the Snowtrooper Lieutenant a little bit stronger. A little annoying there, but we're just going to go ahead and take the initiative, take 3 damage, and see if we can recover. All right, a second Viper. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go to 7 resources. Wouldn't be able to play much. I think we're fine at 6. Keep everything. All right, let's go ahead and... We're not going to be able to do much here, so let's just respond. We'll put IG-88 out, and here comes maximum Overwhelming Barrage. Again, my big problem with IG-88 is that 4 health. A lot of things can take care of it, so that's not fun. Let's see what else we can do here. We could play the Death Star Stormtrooper. I think we're just going to put out 2 Star Vipers and see if we can recover a little bit there, but I don't see us getting out of this. Nope, no way to get out of it. Wow, that takes us there, but we're going to try this deck again 2 more times like we always do. Try a few things, see where we messed up, and we'll just go from there. So we're just going to go ahead and restart the game. Still against a Tarkin. Let's see how we do here. So no mulligan again. Always like to just put it up against the odds, because if you get a bad hand, you got to figure out how you're going to deal with it. So we're just going to say no and make the decision here. So last time we held on to some cards a little bit too long. So let's get rid of the cards that are harder to get out early. I don't think Overwhelming Barrage should be given up, considering it's your only 5 cost and kind of your real bomb of the deck. Let's get rid of the shuttle, and well, the shuttle gives us an answer for the ground. Let's get rid of the Viper and 2 tubes. So that way we can see what our opponent does and respond. They're going to go first, or we're going to go first though. So let's put out the shuttle. We didn't see Tarkin play any ships last time. They are going to put out Admiral Piet, giving them ambush. We'll take the initiative. There we go. Some good answers here. You definitely want to draw the card. Get rid of Yularen for now. Okay. Let's put out the V-Wing. Draw a card, see what we get. Another Vanguard Infantry, which is perfect. And we'll go ahead and play a Death Star Stormtrooper. I doubt Admiral Piet's going to swing into it. Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Really wants to live on the edge there. That is okay. Let's go ahead and swing using IG-88's ability. Look how quick I was about to move there. No way. Oh, that's great. Let's see. What program am I using? Is it TTS or different? It is actually Force Table. I got a link down in the description. I'm Donet's. It's over. So it's a great way just to play against the AI. You can load decks from SWDB. Just try them out, get a good idea of how they work, find the synergies. The AI does pretty well at trying to make the best decisions, but they won't always. So it's definitely not a good substitute for a real opponent, but it helps strengthen your own game. That's for sure. think I'm going to drop the infantry. That puts us at 4, and we got to prepare for takeoff and another infantry in hand, which is great. Tarkin's going to resupply. Let's search for 2 vehicles. Spacecraft here. So another frontline shuttle, the Wing Scout, and the Viper. I think that's exactly where we're going to go. Some of the higher end ones there. Yeah. We'll go with both high end ones. That's going to put us at a good spot for next turn. So Tarkin's going a little bit slow, which is fine. Let's go ahead and put out the infantry. Piet's probably going to skip it. Here comes Grand Moff himself. And let's use IG-88's ability while we still can and swing on the command center. All right, Tarkin kills the Vanguard infantry. We'll put a +1/+1 counter here on our frontline shuttle just because it has a little bit more health than the V-Wing, so we don't get that additional bonus this turn, but that's okay. We'll take the initiative. It's a 21-25 match. A little bit better than last match. All right, more draw cards. A lot of good stuff here. Get rid of the Death Star Stormtrooper. It's kind of going an interesting space route here. Put out a Starwing Scout so we can draw some cards, which is what's going to happen because we just got overwhelming barraged, and so our board is cleared. That's how good that card is, but that's probably going to be a big threat against IG-88 decks because if you're going wide, you're playing a lot of low-cost units who have low health. So you see how one card just takes care of everything. And that Piet continues to get stronger and stronger. This is one of those moments where I wish Star Wars Unlimited was going to have something like Death Touch in Magic, where immediately when you deal damage to a unit, they automatically die. I think we could see something like that in the future with some bigger cards, but probably it's hard to think of like smaller ones in Star Wars universe that fits that setting. Gross. Look at that. Piet's getting stronger and stronger. We got to take care of him, but we need units in play to make that work. Let's get rid of the advantage. All right, we are at 6 resources. We have an overwhelming barrage, but he cannot kill Piet. So let's go ahead and play. Let's play a Viper Probe Droid. Look at the opponent's hand. Royal Guard, maximum fire. Oh my gosh. Okay, so firepower will definitely take out our IG-88. They need 4 to play it though, so they don't have that, but they do have a Emperor's Royal Guard, which will come into play. No problem. Go ahead and play Callus. I mean, can't play Callus. Play the Star Viper, I guess. Yeah. No, let's just fill the board up a little bit, see what our opponent does. Oh, yeah, my deck desperately needs that. Kyler DM. Playing Treacherous, I think, is really good. Traitorous, sorry. It's a really great card. Unfortunately, we're playtesting someone else's deck, and it is not in here. But I do think that's a card that does really well with someone like IG-88, where you want more units in play. Completely agree there. Let's put that Star Viper out. I don't think we're going to get there at all. No, not at all. Look at that. 8 damage. Yeah, we'll try this deck one more time. Again, link down in the description below. 88 Problems by Hollow. Yeah, it's probably just not this matchup. We can talk about maybe I should have deployed the leader faster, but again, 4 health leaders are difficult. They don't have the health to survive. This leader at 7, Tarkin's going to stay and play longer than a turn. IG-88's not someone that stays longer in turn. All right, opponent has the initiative. They'll swing, they'll get it, and that's all right. We'll move over to the next match. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and load one more deck here against it real quick. All right, back in it here. So this time we are going up against an Iden Versio deck, another green with a splash of blue and black. And we're going to try this IG-88 deck by Hollow one more time. No mulligan, just have to deal with what we have and make the best decisions here. So I think we're going to get rid of one Star Wing Scout and one TIE Fighter. Split that up a little bit here. Iden Versio's ability is if an enemy unit was defeated this phase, you can exhaust her to heal 1 damage from your base. So nothing too special. We get to go first. Let's start with space as a arena. Iden meets us right there with the 2/2 Inferno 4 and gets to look at the top 2 cards of their deck. We'll take the initiative and go first next match. All right, we gotta get rid of something. I think we're gonna get rid of the Stormtrooper. And let's have some fun with the Conversion Lab. So action ability, Conversion Lab, play 6 costs or less unit and give it ambush when it comes into play. I'm going to swing with the Star Wing Scout to just go ahead and get rid of the Inferno 4. Yes, the Star Wing Scout hits hard, but we're going to draw 2 cards from it right now. And that Death Trooper just deals damage to itself, no problem. We're going to lose the initiative, but we're going to put 1 damage on the opponent's base. So it's a 29-25 match. We'll go from there. Now, Traitorous will be great in a deck like this. Again, I think anything else with green, we need something that's going to keep these things alive a little bit. I'm not sure what that's going to look like in a game like Star Wars. In Magic, you'd see it like a fog or a silence. Something that's just like, hey, for 1 turn, I can't be damaged. And I think that's probably what an IG-88 deck needs. Something to just counter what's happening. We'll go ahead and get rid of one of our ships since we have Prepare for Takeoff. We have a lot of options here, some 2-drops and some 1s. So let's just kind of fill that board a little bit more. We'll tempt our opponent and put out this 1 cost unit. They're going to play a Snow Trooper Lieutenant, give that Death Trooper +2, hit us for 5. Let's play a 2 tubes. And the AI puts an Entrench on that Death Trooper, so we know our units aren't going to live that much longer. Let's go ahead and do our Prepare for Takeoff now. Wow, only 1 space vehicle, so we'll take it. So not a huge in filtering out our deck. And we'll use IG-88's ability again to hit the base for 2 to 28-20 match. We'll pass. All right, we have the Shuttle, we have the Star Viper, we have Wolf, Agitator, and the Overwhelming Barrage. I like seeing that Overwhelming Barrage. Let's go ahead and we'll get rid of a Shuttle. We'll put Wolf into play. And here comes Overwhelming Barrage. Again, this card is one of my favorite cards because it clears the board. Couldn't agree with you more, Kyler. Fifth Brother's also a great add in here. It's a 3/4. No, sorry, it's a 2/4 as far as health, and it gets stronger. And probably would survive these Overwhelming Barrages a lot better. So, all right, give someone an experience token. Who do I want to live just a little bit longer? Let's say IG-88. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put IG-88 in play, because if I can use 2 tubes to give it a bonus and play an Overwhelming Barrage, we may be in a better position. Swing into the Stormtrooper Lieutenant. Give Raid 2 to IG-88. All right, that looks good. Unfortunately, this Death Trooper still hits way too hard. Takes us out. It's dumb. Again, that 4 health, that's what I'm saying. It's that 4 health that makes it such a low tier leader. And I love IG-88. I think he's a great unit, like as far as just, you know, his stats, but maybe just not good leader stats. Also, you know, you may get stuck with him in a sealed or a draft, and you're going to want to learn how to make him work, right? Let's put out a Star Viper. Playing a really slow game here, and we'll put out Wolf. Luckily, we have the board cleared, so maybe we'll have a little bit of a better luck here. That Entrenched really hurt us. We could have held back, but we took a risk, and it didn't pay off. Get rid of the agitator because we're going to have some draw capabilities here. Shore Trooper, not a big deal there. Let's activate IG-88's ability while we still can. Swing with Wolf into the base. Now Wolf has Saboteur, so that's pretty good. We'll get past these Royal Guards that eventually come out. Now, nice thing is about Iden Versio, she's also a 4 health unit. So us holding on to this overwhelming barrage means we're going to be able to kill her pretty easily. Which means I don't want to use a unit yet. We'll swing with the frontline shuttle, get that 1 damage in. And here she comes. Perfect. Now we'll play our overwhelming barrage ourselves. And we got... I forgot about that dumb shield. Wow, so she's better. She's better than IG-88, who doesn't protect himself. We'll do 3 damage to Grand Moff Tarkin, and we will do the 1 damage to the Shore Trooper, and we'll hit Iden for 1 to get rid of the shield. So, blame me for not reading the card there, but again, makes such a big difference, right? A shield on that 4 health, way better than IG-88. Neither of these units I want to pick all the time because of that, but that's a little bit more helpful. All right, we're at 5 resources. Actually, we're at 6, so I don't really feel the need to put anything down because we can play 2 or 3 cards this turn. Oh, Iden Versio takes 2 just to kill the wolf. All right, let's we'll do the same. We'll do Callus to get rid of Versio. Get him out of here. So Callus will die. That's fine. We still draw a card from it since Iden is unique. So we get that ability. That Shore Trooper just got a little bit stronger though. See if we can tempt the AI there. Nope, they're not tempted. They don't care about swinging into 2 tubes. They want to hit us for 6, so they do. We'll go ahead and swing in the command center. Opponent's going to take the initiative, leaving us not in a great spot. All right. It is 15 to 16. Nothing else to do. We'll pass. We have a interceptor to take care of that TIE advance, but we don't have anything to deal with that Shore Trooper. That's only getting stronger. Best case scenario. Nope. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about best case scenarios. That's 8 damage to our face right there. I do not have an answer for the Death Star Stormtrooper. Sorry, the Death Trooper. So opponent has just the same amount of units as us. So 2 tubes is only going to hit it for 2. Best we can do here is hope that the AI makes a mistake and does something different right now. Nope. All right. So that was an interesting deck. Didn't mind trying it out. Again, I think we've kind of talked about some of the things it needed. Did need a little bit of a beefier unit in play, something like the 5th Brother. And then, again, running traders would probably also be beneficial to kind of take an opponent's unit and be able to get other bonuses and use it that turn. So I'll get really excited when we start seeing like some red or black sacrificial events. Things that are like destroy this unit to destroy another unit, right? I think that kind of stuff would be really cool. Let's go ahead and go back to the main screen, talk about the next deck we're going to try, and go from there. All right, next one is Jabba in the Dining Hall by Subphatty. So again, link down in the description below. We find decks listed in SWDB listed as hot, meaning they are ones people have voted for, that they have enjoyed or they like. And we're going to be trying out this one. So Subphatty went yellow, black, red. Still the Bounty Hunter and Administrator's Tower for that extra health. Makes sense if you're worried about going against those Sabines or Leias that are really aggressive, if you just want that extra help there. Now, if you're going to be playing yellow, I assume it's going to have a little bit more control. Ground units, though, small amount of ground units, so 9. So it makes sense why we're going to go heavy space. And as far as the ones we picked, 2 tubes, we saw that earlier in the last deck. Boba Fett is a great staple. 3 cost for 3 and a 5 seems like the right way to go. And Jabba the Hutt. So obviously it's going to be focusing a little bit more of control. Probably trying to get more to that mid-range level where you want to control the match as far as you can. Drop IG-88 and swing. Yeah, so let's take a look. Space units. Fett's Fire Spray. Yeah, you know, I don't know if it's worth playing without Boba as your leader, but why not? So an Interceptor, that we've seen that is a great move. The TIE Fighter, give you a little bit more draw. Headhunter. This is one I disagree with. If you can't protect IG-88 because of that 4 health cost, you're probably never going to get that bonus on the on-attack ability. So not to say he's a bad 2-cost unit, but you're never going to get it to its full potential. Pirated Starfighter, where you have to return a non-leader unit to your hand. The Raider, that makes sense. That's a good lengthy card there. The 7th Fleet Defender, the Star Wing Scout, and the TIE Advance. So TIE Advance is interesting. As far as Imperials, we can only play this on the 7th Fleet Defender, the Raider, and the Interceptor. So only 3 other targets, unless you play another TIE Advance. So yeah, I don't know. We'll try this out. Again, I know everyone is always trying new stuff. It's easy to go with things that are like considered S or A tier, but it's always worth trying out other decks, especially if you're passionate about the character. So in this situation, I'm more passionate about the character than I am the actual card of the character. Smuggling compartment in here to give your vehicles the ability to ready a resource. This is a good move, right? If you're keeping your resources open, you're playing a lot of vehicles, you're going to get through. You're hoping you can play more cards in a turn. So as far as events, Asteroid Sanctuary to give shields and exhaust. Bamboozle, which I don't think I would play because you're going to be paying that extra. Jabba the Hutt will lower it. The reason why you're going to pay additional resources is because it has a white aspect in it and you're not playing white. So this should cost us +2. So at most it's going to cost us 3. Sorry, at best it'll cost us 3. At most it'll cost us 4. No Good to Me Dead. Yep. Great card. Bad art. Outmaneuver. This is interesting. So I like Outmaneuver. It's a fun tactic. It's not a trick. But if you're going heavy in the space unit world, you can just play this on the ground when your opponent's going off and just be like, hey, you have 5 ground units. I don't care. Exhaust them. We're playing my game of space. So I think that's neat. We'll see how that works here. And a waylay. So overall, I think this deck will be okay. We'll try it up against a few matchups, and let's just get to it. So select this as player 1, and let's try something different here. Yeah, let's go up against Fett X Direct. So double yellow and a black. So yellow deck versus yellow deck. Let's go ahead and shuffle up, and we'll go from there. All right, no mulligan for us. Let's just see how this deck goes. Again, we are trying out Jabba's Dining Hall by Subphatty. Description in the link. Sorry, links in the description below. And here you go, Bamboozle, costing us 4. I'm just going to put that away now. I don't want to pay for it. And then the next thing is, what are we going to get rid of? Jabba? Boba? We don't have that many ground units, so I'm going to get rid of 2 tubes, I think. Yes, we could play 2 units this turn if we kept 2 tubes, but we're just going to go a little differently. Outer Rim Headhunter. Okay, does this make sense? Boba has enough health. It's a great play. We're just going to have to mimic it a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put out a Outer Rim Headhunter ourselves. Opponent will go and take the initiative, going first next turn, and we'll just have to see how we do. Cost loss. It can be free. Are you talking about the Bamboozle? Oh, you're right. Bamboozle can be free. You're correct, Kyler. Kyler DM saying the Bamboozle is a free card, and he's right. You can discard a card to instead of paying its cost. I don't mind that, honestly, but I just don't know if that's what you want to do with an IG-88 deck. But we should try it. We should figure out why subphatty put it in here and give it a shot. So if we get another one, we'll see if that's going to be the best option. I think right now, we could overwhelm our opponent, or you can get some shield. Let's split up. T-Gunner, this game, yeah, it's really cool. Star Wars Unlimited is coming out on March 8th. Ooh, they're going heavy space. Well, let's split up a little bit here. Is coming out March 8th from Fantasy Flight. They have made a couple of Star Wars games in the past that I have enjoyed and played on many occasions. Have the raid ability. Let's take out that TIE fighter. Do a little trading here. But yeah, I've just been enjoying it, doing some streams with sealed play, constructed play, and now draft play. All right, the AI hits us with a waylay to return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. We're just going to head and take the initiative so we can go first next round, draw 2 cards, and make a decision here. Right, I think let's get rid of the Raider for right now, and we're going to go ahead and play Jabba the Hutt. So he's going to lower the cost of our tricks, and we're going to search the top 8 decks for a trick event and put it in our hand. Now we do need some more units, but this will do some filtering and let us see our options. All right, Asteroid Sanctuary is going to put a shield on a unit that costs 3 or less, which we currently don't have in play, and Waylay is going to return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. We'll take the Waylay to have an answer to deal with anything that is difficult to deal with on the board. All right, opponent hits us for 2. Now they can put Boba Fett out on turn 5, or sorry, on their 5th resources, so turn 4. And we can play IG-88 on turn 4 as well. So we're going to take the initiative. We have no other cards to play, no resources available, and the AI passes. I'll take it. I'll take it. We have a Fett Fire Spray, and we have this TIE Advance. I'm going to get rid of the TIE Advance. Again, TIE Advance needs another Imperial unit in play to get that benefit, and we may just be trying something else here. This Waylay is going to cost us 2, so we can play any 3 cost card. Let's play the Boba. AI's gone into the space arena, and I want to see what they do next. They play their own Boba Fett. That makes complete sense. Complete sense. We'll put out our IG-88. So IG-88 can die to Boba, no problem. And the Outer Rim Headhunter is going to exhaust our Jabba the Hutt. All right. So we can hit Boba Fett for 6, and IG-88 will easily just die. Or we swing on the base for 5. I'm going to put the damage into Boba Fett because he is a just monster. We'll also get rid of IG-88 now. And here comes Bosk. Wow. Again. Guys, I'm going to say it. As much as I love IG-88 as a character, he's not the unit or the leader I always want to play. We could waylay something, but we don't really want to waylay that Bosk. Let's just play a unit. We'll put out the Mining Guild TIE Fighter. Boba Fett's probably going to swing. No, not on a unit. Okay. Let's take the initiative. I thought he would have swung on a unit. Second Jabba the Hutt there. Could bounce our Jabba for safety, or we can play a Fett's Fire Spray. We're going with that Fett's Fire Spray. It's in here. Let's see what happens. See how the AI deals with that. Boom. Fire Spray comes into play because we control a Boba. It does ready itself. Don't worry. Outer Rim Headhunter taps it. So that was 6 resources to do nothing like we wanted to. Well, since that Boba's already done, we'll take it out with our Boba. They'll trade. No, ours will stay in play, which is great. And they will play their own Fire Spray. So all good stuff. Man, all right. Well, again, this is what these things are for. We're trying out decks that people build. We're trying different color combinations, trying to find synergies here. Is IG-88 going to be worth playing even for fun? I don't know. I don't know. Guys, this guy and this bounty hunter is great. You know, if you're familiar with him from Shadows of the Empire, the video game, the comic book, the book, you know, he's rolling around with a huge pulse cannon. He is just tough to deal with it. He's a whole boss of that level. So I think he's just great. I don't know if I want to get rid of anything. We'll get rid of the fire spray though. Definitely going to stay at 7 resources. See what we can bounce. We can bounce the fire spray now. Sure, let's do that. It's only going to cost us 2. And we get no good to me dead. So we can't use our fire spray this turn. Lots of fun stuff. Let's put out a 7th Fleet Defender. Has shield. Bosk is going to swing into our Jabba the Hutt. No problem there. We're going to activate IG-88's ability because we have more units. And we'll swing with Boba Fett, who can hit now for 1 additional damage. So, not getting very far. And here comes the fire spray. Untaps again. We're going to use 2 to exhaust a non-unique unit. We'll just exhaust there. Fire spray will hit us for 6. This game's not going anywhere. Hit us for 5. Take the initiative and see if we have any additional answers here. Oh, hey, bamboozle. Well, we can bamboozle something. So again, bamboozle is cost us more, but we can discard a yellow card from our hand instead of paying its event cost. Exhaust unit, return each upgrade to its owner's hand. Let's just do that. We'll just play bamboozle. Do an alternate cost. Get rid of the TIE fighter. Seems silly, but we're going to die. And we'll just exhaust the fire spray. Alright, fire spray exhaust our Imperial 7th Fleet Defender. We'll have Boba Fett go ahead and swing into Bosk to get rid of him. And see what that Outer Rim Headhunter does, or if the AI plays another unit. Oh, they play a Boba Fett. That's cool. Go ahead and use our action ability to exhaust a non-unique unit there, and then we get waylaid. Okay. Play Jabba the Hutt. Maybe we'll find something cool. You're completely right, Kyler. The space unit is a little bit difficult to deal with the Star Wing Scout because you're hoping to have initiative, but if you're playing IG-88 correctly, you'll probably have way too many units. So the goal with the Star Wing Scout is really use it at the right time or hit something big because it's so low cost. But it's an easy card to kind of get rid of and put down as a resource for most of the time if it's in your deck. So we have a couple options here. Waylay, Asteroid Sanctuary. Nothing's really going to protect us. I'll take a Waylay. Out comes a Greedo. Let's Waylay Boba Fett. Again, nothing's going to happen here. We're postponing the inevitable. So Thanos is about to come down here and destroy our Administrator's Tower. Here it goes. 5. Okay. Here's what it is, everybody. Greedo's going to take me out. That is not a problem. I'm fine to die there, and we'll move on and just do another match. All right, let's try this out against a different color. IG-88 decks, they're going down quick. What does that tell you? All right, let me pick a new deck here real quick. All right, this time we're going to go Leia Organa, Vehicular Manslaughter. This is the deck we've tried out a couple weeks ago. It is a red, white, green, all rebels, all aggressive. Let's see if we can at least keep up and do some trading of units. So take a mulligan. Nope, we'll just deal with what we got here. Star Wing Scout will go, and Jabba has the health to survive. These Outer Rim Headhunters, though. Nope, we'll get rid of one. Out comes an Alliance X-Wing. Play our Headhunter. Opponent's going to go first by taking the initiative now. And let's go into turn 2. And I'm going to get rid of the fire spray here. 3 resources. Leia's going to go ahead and swing with the X-Wing for no reason. So it does not need to happen. Leia's exhaust ability is she can tap herself to attack with a rebel unit. And then she can attack with another rebel unit. She's great at breaking the rules, but I don't think that was the best play there. I think the AI just decided to do that. Let's put out a Bobo. And open fire. All right. So again, IG-88 would die to this. This is why it's a really difficult unit to play. So the fact is that if like your low cost to recost units can survive an open fire, that's a good unit. If your leader can't survive an open fire, it's not a great unit. We can take the initiative now, but I have a feeling Leia's going to use that Tarkin town to kind of get rid of our Boba Fett. We're going to use our Headhunter to take out the Alliance X-Wing, because in most of the game, you want to just be trading against these aggro decks. They need to run out of steam. You need to figure out how to stay ahead. Leia needs 2 units in play every time to take advantage of it. She loves her little combat tricks, and if you let her have 2 units, you'll see them every time. Talking about Fleet Lieutenant. That card comes in strong every time. All right, we'll play Jabba the Hutt. Looks like we got a No Good to Me Dead, an Asteroid Sanctuary, and a second Asteroid Sanctuary. And a Waylay. So, but we can only get tricks. So I'm going to take Asteroid Sanctuary. We don't have a unit we can heal yet, but we can't play this card. And they just played a K2SO. We'll take the initiative. K2SO has Overwhelm, meaning when it deals damage, if it goes past the defending unit's health, it's going to go straight to the base. Also, when this unit dies, it can choose to either deal 3 damage to a player's base or makes me discard a card. A lot of options there. All right, let's go ahead and play a 7th Fleet Defender. Out comes Red 3. Red 3 gives all friendly white units Raid 1. And we'll go ahead and Asteroid Sanctuary to exhaust the K2SO. I don't want to deal with it. And we'll put another shield on the Defender. All right, Leia can come out this turn. She only needs 5 resources, but she has no Rebel units to swing with. So when she swings, she gets the Raid 1 bonus, and she can attack with another Rebel unit. We'll go ahead and put out our IG-88 to give Jabba the Hutt a little bit more attack power there. And I think we're going to swing with IG-88 first on this Leia Organa. So IG-88 is going to take 3 damage, puts him in a bad spot, but he's always in a bad spot. For an assassin droid, this guy does not have the ability to stay alive very long. We'll have Jabba do what I guess could have been an alternate ending in Return of the Jedi and take care of Leia Organa himself. It can be a very disturbing image if the roles were reversed in that part of the movie. I'll tell you that. Okay. We'll get rid of the Starfighter and we can play the Imperial Interceptor. We have another Jabba the Hutt, and we have Bamboozle we can do if things get a little bit crazy. Out comes this Snow Speeder, which has Ambush. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a speeder just going through like the dunes of Tatooine and find the Hutt and take him out. That seems like a hidden level on Rogue Squadron. Something like that. We'll play the Interceptor and get rid of that Red 3 who's giving all of those units with white aspects a raid bonus. And we're going to lose this IG-88 and K2SO is going to die. So that's some droid on droid, destruction right there. I'm pretty sure they would be really upset about that in Solo. Droid rights, right? Droid rights. That's what it's about. Man, we're just taking some damage here. No problem. It's a 23-16 match. I feel like we're doing a little bit better than we have with some of these other IG-88 decks. I'm curious to see how the deck I made is going to do. Go ahead and swing again with the 7th Fleet Defender. It's double shielded just in case we ever run into any trouble. We'll pass. Holding on to this Bamboozle just in case. Keep all cards in hand. We can just go ahead and play them. Now Leia is going to exhaust, which is smart. She can use 2 Rebel units right now. Swing on my base, drop me down to 10. It's a good play. So again, that's why you got to kind of like take care of these units as you can. Let's go ahead, but we need more ground units. And unfortunately, both our ground units are unique. And so the best we can do is Bamboozle, but we have to go first. It's tough. Not a good situation to be in. So I guess we're just going to use 2 units to kill something. We'll start with the Battlefield Marine. 2 tubes will give a bonus here to the Interceptor. Out comes the Bright Hope to bounce the Marine back to the hand, and the Bright Hope has Sentinel, so okay. Swing with Jabba. Jabba will die. That's okay. We can play another Jabba, hopefully get another trick. It may serve us a little bit better. Right. Nope. Asteroid Sanctuary is okay. That's what we're getting. Asteroid Sanctuary. Or a Bamboozle. Take the Asteroid Sanctuary. Bamboozle's okay, but it's just going to exhaust. And I don't think they're going to play any upgrades. So, I don't know. I don't think we're just going to see a play this turn. Nothing to exhaust. Nothing to give a shield to. Let's just go ahead and swing. Yeah, we can't give a shield to this unit. The Interceptor's too strong. We'll pass. We could action ability. That's probably what we should have done. No, we couldn't. There's no point. We'll pass. Yes, the Interceptor could take out the Bright Hope, but the Interceptor's also hits for a little bit more. Has a little bit more options, and I think we have some answers for the Bright Hope coming up. Like Waylay. So, which is silly because it returns it to his hand, so maybe not. 7 resources. I'm not going to say I'm making the best moves, but this is a difficult deck. Difficult deck. I don't think I've felt so vulnerable playing in Star Wars. I just feel like I've been playing catch up this whole time. All right, Dodonna's in play. Dodonna's rough because he gives all Rebel units that +1/+1. So let's just go ahead and get him out of play. Out comes Wing Leader. All right, no problem there. We're just going to now play. We'll just play the full cost. No, we'll pay full cost. Tap the Snow Speeder. Get rid of those experience tokens. Leia's going to activate to swing with the Bright Hope and the Battlefield Marine in one action because she's a cheaty McCheaty face. That's what she does. This game is definitely going to be over because it's 18-5. IG-88 has not lived up to his potential. We'll go ahead and attack again, this time with 7 Fleet Defender. Get rid of that Bright Hope. And we'll swing with the Interceptor. Again, not what I want to do, but it's the best option. You can't let Leia have 2 units in play because you're going to get hit twice. And we'll play 2 tubes. Pass. Keep everything in hand. Let's see what Leia does. She has 6 cards, so again, not in a good spot. We'll tap the Marine. We'll put a shield on 2 tubes and go from there. It's IG. Yep, good stuff. Let's see here. Wow. Again, Dodonna is in play. Let's put the compartment here, so that way when we attack, we can at least ready a resource for who knows. It'll help. It'll help a bit. So at least we can play the Raider. Deal 2 damage to another unit. And to a base. We'll go ahead and deal 2 damage to Dodonna here, so we can hit Dodonna with Jabba the Hutt. Finishing off Dodonna, getting rid of those +1/+1s, and 2 tubes. 2 tubes isn't going to do anything. So again, Leia has 6 damage on the board right now. So we're The smart move here is the AI is going to take their turn, they'll go first, and they're going to activate Leia to use 2 units at once. So if you want to play Leia, that's really how you do it. That's how you overwhelm your opponent. I have no options, right? I can take, if it was only 1 unit, I'd be fine. But 2, that's why you just can't let them sit out there. All right, IG-88 by Subphatty. We tried a couple decks. I don't think I'm going to do a third one. I think I want to go ahead and move to the one we built and see if I'm further disappointed. But hey, that's all right. So I'm playtesting, so you don't have to. But maybe you're going to make some great IG-88 decks the way the more cards are revealed. Maybe you're already starting to see some of the synergies that people are throwing in here in the same decks. And again, it's helping us figure out what does this deck need. I think that's really important whenever you're going into a second set, which will be some time for us. But as you're looking out for cards that you want, for decks you really want to make work, you're going to have to figure out what does it really need. A deck like this needs either some low cost units with some more health, I think would be great. Something similar like Cantina Braggarts that get raid bonuses when they swing but have no attack value, so they give them a larger health, or something that's going to shield all your units for a turn. So let's go ahead and go back to the screen. We'll look at the next deck we're playing. All right, so we have done Jabba in the Dining Hall by Subphatty, and we have done 88 Problems by Hollow, red, black, green, red, black, yellow. What did I pick to try out tonight? I picked red, red, black. So I'm a big fan of double aggro, especially because we got a new double aggro card this week called Rallying Cry. Each friendly unit gains raid 2 this phase. They get +2 to +0 while attacking. I think that's a really cool event. I think it can make a big difference late game, and we'll see if we get there. So let's see what I did here, what's been similar to some of the other decks we saw that have some high votes on SWDB. I will say this, there's not that many IG-88 decks on SWDB. I had to go pretty far down to find them. So I'm running Ardent Sympathizer as a good 3/3 that gets stronger with initiative, maybe difficult. 2 tubes, but not 3 of them. Don't want to be stuck with too much unique. Cell block guards. No one was running this in their decks, and I think this is something you want to have when you're playing black. You want to be running the cell block guards. You never know if you're going to need that extra defense. This could have bought us a little bit of time, so I just feel like it's a staple in black. Death Star Stormtrooper, pretty consistent, 3/1 for 1. Fifth Brother. So earlier in here, we talked about this. I want to say it was Kyler DM who mentioned we needed a fifth brother on one of the earlier decks we were trying out, and I completely agree, which is why he sits here in mine. He's a 2, he's a 4, 2 attack, 4 health, gets stronger the more damage he takes. I think there's some good potential there. I'm also running First Legion Snowtrooper. This is another one people weren't playing with their IG-88 decks. It's a good 2 cost unit, it's 3 health, and it gets stronger if it's attacking damaged units. So some potential there. The Agitator for that Saboteur ability. Partisan Insurgent, while you control another red unit, this unit gains raid 2. This is, I think, where IG-88 needs to lean a little bit more. This is probably why I should have put Cantina Braggarts in this part of the deck as well. Low attack with raid bonuses, but higher health. So again, 4 health is a good number, but it's not the best number. Partisan Insurgent, just like IG-88, will die to open fire. Wolf, because I need that Saboteur ability. Again, we want to be able to get past those Sentinel units. It could make a big difference in our aggressive gameplay. As far as space, I'm going a little low here, 15, and it's mostly utility. So Disabling Fang Fighter, deal with upgrades like lightsabers, Imperial Interceptor that can deal damage on enter to other space units. The Raider, kind of a slight win condition there towards the end if we're struggling to get past those Sentinel units. Starwing Scout, I'm rethinking this one after, playing it in other people's decks. I just don't think it's going to be there, but I do like that it hits hard in case we need it. And a low-cost TIE Fighter, just to make sure we're keeping up with tempo, putting some things in play. As far as vents, Aggression, favorite card, love playing aggression, 4 cost, draw a card, defeat up to 2 upgrades, ready a unit with 3 or less power, deal 4 damage to a unit. You choose 2 of these when you play this card. These are all the things IG-88 needs to be successful, right? You can draw a card. Card advantage is really helpful if you're putting out 2 units every turn. Defeat up to 2 upgrades. Something's getting too big for you. There you go. Ready a unit to kind of get you over that line and hopefully win you the game, or deal 4 damage to a unit to kill like another IG-88. Or Iden Versio, or other bad leaders with low health. Open Fire, great card, 3 cost, staple, I think in red. I think if these other 2 decks weren't playing it, and you want to have removal. You need removal, whether you're aggro, mid-range, control. You need to have answers. So I think it's a good way to go. We've already talked about Rallying Cry. So let's set it up. Call this deck the Aggressive GoBot. So referencing a song by MC Chris, where he highlights the bounty hunter as, I believe the opening line is, "I'm a GoBot that's gone nuts." So, which is true. That's how it feels, right? Those assassin droids, if you're familiar with the legends, they kind of got a mind of their own, went a little crazy, and I believe they killed their creator. So, anyway, it's very Dragon Ball Z android situation story arc, apparently. Wouldn't be surprised if that Star Wars writer took it straight from there. Anyway, let's transition and get to the game board. We're going to be playing the Leia deck we played earlier. As referenced, that is Vehicular Manslaughter by Jax10. We tried this out a few weeks ago when we were doing some Leia playtesting. All right, we'll randomize it and we'll hit the board. All right, no mulligan for me. Let's see what we got here. Double Partisan Insurgents, TIE Fighter, and Ardent Sympathizer. So we have some options. I'm going to drop the Sympathizer and I guess a Partisan Insurgent. Kind of go either way next turn. So Leia can go one or the other. She can go ground or space, and we go first. So we'll put out the TIE Fighter first. We'll play one. She plays Sabine, and we're going to take the initiative. Now we have an answer for Sabine with the Open Fire. May or may not use it, or we can play Partisan Insurgent, but it's, again, with these aggro decks, you want to take out cards quick. So I think that's what we're going to do. Starwing Scout can immediately just go down to the resource pile. And let's just go ahead and open fire. So, yep, there we go. Admiral Akbar comes into play, has nothing to do. We'll swing with the TIE Fighter. Leia's going to go first. And we'll move on. All right, Akbar is a little bit harder to deal with, and that's okay. We have the Rallying Cry. We have the Fang Fighter. We're going to have to go with more units right now, so let's kind of put those out. And out comes Red 3, giving Admiral Akbar that Raid 1 bonus. No real answers here. Let's play. We want probably 2 units so we can have more units than our opponent. So let's go ahead and put out the Partisan Insurgent first. Leia's going to force Akbar to swing, which is perfect. And he swings into the Partisan Insurgent. Okay. We'll put out 2 tubes, and then we're going to use the TIE Fighter to swing into the Red 3. So it doesn't matter. So Tarkin Town takes out the Partisan Insurgent, so we're not going to get that bonus like I wanted with the TIE Fighter. Man, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. We can swing for 2 and take the initiative. Or take the initiative. I'm going to take the initiative. Yep, Leia has nothing else to play. We'd rather get rid of that Red 3. Leia has 2 Rebel units, means she can activate both of them and keep going, so... Oh, that's awesome. IG-88. Let's see, Kyler. Oh, okay, yeah, you created your IG. Good stuff. I just tested mine against a bot and it worked way better than was expecting. That's great, yeah. No, and that's what this is for. You're going to try some stuff out, see where it's missing, see where the tempo is having some problems. But yeah, I'm really glad people use this as a resource. So I think it's a really great resource. No substitute for playing with friends, but sometimes it's just hard to meet up. Sometimes you have some obstacles, like you're trying to play online. If you're in the Northwest right now, like I am, and it's coming down pretty hard, you're kind of stuck at home. So if you don't have stuff set up for tabletop simulator or live webcam gameplay, this is kind of really your best option. All right, we have only 3 cost units we can play. Leia is going to come out this turn. All right, this is going to seem silly, but we're going to open fire. Let's take care of Akbar. See what Leia does now. Probably put out a unit. Puts herself out. Fair. We're also going to put out our Leader 2. It's going to give us that Raid 1 bonus. Here comes General Dodonna. He's a jerk. No friend of mine. TIE Fighter will go ahead and swing into Red 3. We'll get, and we won't finish off Red 3 because of General Dodonna, which is annoying. So Leia's going to get that raid bonus +2 because of Red 3, and we'll take some damage there. Just dumb. Just dumb. 2 tubes is going to swing. We'll give that bonus to IG-88. Make him a little bit tougher. And we could kill the Dodonna, but I'd rather swing into Leia Organa because she hits for a little bit less. All right. Apparently not. I forgot. She has +1/+1. Oh my god. You guys know reading the card's important. How about I use this Tarkin town and read the card again? Well, I could have done that whole turn way differently. But here we are. I'd rather make mistakes always on stream than make them in a tournament. These are the things that kind of like help you remember what to do, right? We're going to go to 6 resources. 6 is a good number there. We can drop the Stormtrooper. So we have a space option, a Sentinel option. That's really important against this Leia deck. Let's put it out. Cell block guard, and out comes Wing Leader. Give 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit. Gross. They choose the Green Squadron A-Wing, which already has raid. So let's remove an experience token from there. Let Dodonna swing on us for 4. Takes out that cell block guard. Oh yeah, Kyler, if you want to DM me that link, that'd be great. We can always try that here on stream. We'll have some time, that's for sure. I am in the Star Wars Discord for Unlimited, and we are out of plays. Our 2 tubes is gone. Dodonna is gone. It is a interesting match, but this has lasted, I think, a little bit longer when it's a little bit closer than what we've already seen from these other IG-88 decks. So. All right, 5th brother, and out comes Wedge Antilles. Wedge Antilles is a great add into these Leia decks. It's on theme. It gives your vehicles +1/+1, and then they gain ambush. You play a card like that with Dodonna, and it is tough, right? If Dodonna was still in play, that's a tough one to recover from. All right, so the Disabling Fang Fighter here has to swing. Fortunately, we're not going to kill that Green Squadron A-Wing, which only gets tougher. So, got to make a decision here. Really, I need more units. Well, that's really what I need. We'll take out the Wing Leader. So, it's not a fun trade, but it's the trade we're doing. All right, both units are out. Out comes a Battlefield Marine. She is flooding the board. We will do the same thing, leaving us both at 1 card in our hand. And we'll put out this Starwing Scout. Pass. See what happens here. All right, Kyler, I believe I got your message request. Thanks so much for sending me that link. We'll try that here in just a bit, probably after the next match. No, not there. Just opening it up right there on stream. Okay, we'll hold on to everything here. I like seeing the other Disabling Fang Fighter. Just gives us a better chance of taking out that Green Squadron A-Wing, but doesn't matter. Swinging on us. Again, Leia. Leia's so good. Just breaks the game. Boom. So if you're interested in playing Leia, I hope this has convinced you. So We're gonna try one more deck. I want to try this one more time, and then we'll move over to Kyler's. Let's see here. Pick a deck. All right, last one trying my deck. Link down in the description below. No mulligan. What am I missing? I hit something incorrect, I think. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't do this. Something's off on the screen. Found it. All right, 2 cards have to go down on the resource pile. Let's see. Tough decisions. It's going to be Rally Cry and Starwing Scout. I guess it wasn't that tough. I did have Double Wolf, but he's a 2/2, and I have a feeling he won't survive that long. So we'll put out Wolf, and we are going up against Vader Green, red, black, green. So, so far, IG-88 has not done well against a lot of the green matchups. They can just outspeed him. They have the answers as far as damage. Here, we got to look out for things like overwhelming firepower, maximum barrage. Sorry, overwhelming barrage, maximum firepower, open fire, things like that. And then you talk about like things like takedown. Takedown could take him out. So your takedown, yeah, takedown. Vanquish is the one that you can't do non-leader, but it's a complete destroy. All right, we'll go ahead and get rid of Wolf. Got that Sympathizer, got the Jedi Agitator, Snow Trooper. We're going to get Force Choked, no problem. I'm okay with them wasting Force Choke. Let's put out a Death Star Stormtrooper. Nope, don't worry, we're going to die there. Hell. So action 1, pay 1 if you played a black card this phase. Oh, Force Choke is black. Oh, man. So right here, if you're looking at it, you can only see that red, right? So I was like, what? They played a black card? Apparently they did. Wow. Partisan Insurgent then. How about that, Vader? Still have more units than you. Pass. I have less cards in hand. That's how that goes. He's going to take care of it. He'll kill the Starwing Scout. We'll keep the Battle Cry. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to kill Mahdi. No reason for Mahdi to be in play. Get rid of it. Don't let those combos go off. If you're unfamiliar with what Mahdi does, when he's defeated, you can ready a black aspect unit. This means you could swing with Vader twice in a turn, swing with any of your big units twice in a turn. Just not worth it. So get rid of it. They want you to keep it out there, right? We'll go ahead and put out a couple more units. And next turn, hopefully we'll have a really good IG-88 turn. So we'll pass. Thinking we drop down this Battle Cry. Have some fun. Get rid of the Sympathizers. All right, it's turn 5. Vader did not ramp. He just got his Super Laser Technician in play. We're going to put our IG-88 in play now, giving raid 1 to everything. Ooh, yeah. Okay, Vader has no place left. For some reason, they wanted the Vader's lightsaber to hit this Technician. Let's have some fun. Battle Cry, please. This gives raid 2 to all units. IG-88 gives raid 1 to all units. So all units are going to hit for 3. Not to mention, Jedi Agitator can damage a unit with its ability. So let's swing on this base. 6 damage? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 6, and then we're going to hit it for 5. Boom. This base was at 25, right? I think it was at 25 at the beginning of the turn. Deal 2 damage to a ground unit or a base. We could kill this Laser Technician. If we do 2 more damage, we're going to be hitting it for 7. We're going to hit it for 7. Base. Boom. 2 damage there. Additional 5. We're at 7. I believe that's game. Boom. Sorry if that was a loud clap, but boom. We just IG-88 our way through an aggressive Vader green deck. If you're unfamiliar with this deck, the goal of the Vader deck is to get Vader almost 2 turns earlier by playing Super Laser Technicians, killing them yourself, and getting them in play, and a couple resupplies. It's very control. It's very fast. Again, AI made some interesting decisions here. I probably wouldn't have played the lightsaber, but You know, they probably also weren't expecting a battle cry and me doing 2, 4, 6, 8 additional damage this turn that wasn't shown on the board. So rallying cry, big fan of that card. This is exactly how I want it to work, right? Lay out your units, put out IG-88. If your opponent's tapped out, units already used, that's 3 raid right there. And good tempo. We didn't lose. We lost what? 1 unit? 2 units. So imagine if we only lost 1. That would have been cool. That was 25 damage then. Yeah, 25 damage in 1 turn. That was cool. All right, Kyler, I'm going to try out your deck. We're going to go to the shuffling board screen, and I'm going to import it, and we're going to try it out. All right, so special ad here at the end. Really glad Kyler wanted to share his deck. Instead of just diving right into it, I just want to put it on the board. Right, we're going to see what he does. I'm going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. I know it's going to be a little bit of control. We can already see it's heavy. There's a lot more blue, so we haven't done anything blue, which I think makes it even more exciting to try out. So let's just try it against this same Vader deck we just played, and we'll see what we do here. So. No mulligan, Kyler. We're going to see what happens if we're dealt with a difficult hand. Now, I do love seeing Count Dooku may defeat a unit with 4 or less remaining HP. This leader, just like Iden Versio, has 4 health and comes out with a shield and protects itself. And then it can kill IG-88. So again, IG-88 may not be a top tier class leader. When you can see a 7 cost unit that can just destroy your unit just by playing it, right? Ugh. All right, I'm going to put Count Dooku down there just because this deck's going to go probably a little bit slower. We'll also get rid of... I love 7th Sister. I love 7th Sister, but we're going to drop her because she's 5. So won't be able to play these cards till at least turn 4 and turn 6. Let's build up our board presence here. We have 4 units that can heal each other and get stronger. I think Scout Bike Pursuers is a great pairing with IG-88. Again, they're low cost, they give you the health, and they get stronger the more damage they take. So we don't have to worry about like a maximum firepower or overwhelming barrage taking it out too soon. We do need to worry about this Mahdi. Take care of him next turn. We'll take the initiative. Let's go first. All right, a Force Choke, another Count Dooku. I don't ever like giving him more cards. I'm trying to think what we would save the Force Choke for. It will take care of Vader when Vader's out. I don't know how many Dookus he's running. Kyler, don't tell me. Don't tell me how many Dookus you're running. Let's... we'll get rid of 1 surgical droid. We'll see what happens here. All right, first things first. Let's get rid of that Mahdi. I don't want any weird tricks here. Mahdi is out. Next turn, cell block guard. Okay. I can deal with the cell block guard. Cell block guard, not bard. However, I would love to see a cell block bard. Yeah, he comes out with the energy conversion lab. If you're unfamiliar, this gives a unit that costs 6 or less. You can play it from your hand. It's going to have ambush that phase. That's what happened here. We just got cell block guard to the face. That's okay. Smart move. The Pursuer is really difficult to deal with, and Subblock Guard already has 2 damage on it, so we have 2 more units. Hopefully we can go first. All right, Entrenched. There we go. So Entrenched is a good play. It's going to... We can put that on IG-88. Keep him alive a little bit longer. Defense Walker is a great Sentinel ability. Again, I think I'm forcing Dooku a little bit too hard, so I'm going to get rid of him because we're still 3 turns away from there. So look at that. We got a fallen lightsaber played on the cell block guard. This makes him a 6/4 at the moment. And we're just going to force choke it. Let's get it out of there. Let Vader draw 1 more card. They're going to have 2 more than us, and they're going to deal 1 damage to a unit. Yeah, makes sense. No big deal. Action ability, we'll attack with a unit. We have more units than them. Go ahead and hit here. The conversion lab for 3. Thanks IG-88. Thanks Grit. And we can swing with the surgical droid. I don't know if I want to heal. I'll heal. We'll just heal. I think I want to save this entrenched. I think I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for IG-88 and hopefully he stays alive. So, double entrenched and a lightsaber. Choices. Get rid of 1. I got to keep the lightsaber, right? Got to keep it. All right, a Royal Guard. I'm not intimidated by that. They have 2 resources now. Here's the problem. If the opponent has a force choke, we will die. IG-88 will die. He will die quickly, and I will hate it. So let's just feel it out. Let's see what the AI does here. Let's use an action ability and attack with a unit. We'll attack with a Scout Bike Pursuer and hit the Emperor's Royal Guard. All right, here comes Admiral Ozzel. Perfect. So there's no force choke we have to worry about now. Opponent is tapped out. They have nothing else they can do because they need a resource to activate Vader. Let's put out our IG-88. Now let's make IG-88 a pain. Let's give him more health. There we go. He can now swing into the base if I want him to, but I think we want him to play to his strengths. He's an assassin droid, and we're going to assassinate everyone. And this is a pointing night. I am pointing. So I think it just has to do with my excitement for playing some IG-88s that I've enjoyed. That's not to say Hollow and Subphatty made some bad decks, but man, it was tough. It was tough. So let's get rid of this Royal Guard. Do some damage. 11, please. Yeah. 3. I can take 3. And I can heal too. There we go. Droids healing droids. Healing droids. I'm all about it. Let's pass. So we're in a better spot. We're 10 ahead. We have the health. I like everything here. Ooh, we'll get rid of the Death Trooper. Some options. 5th Brother gets stronger. I'm going to drop the 5th Brother. We're going to play Academy Defense Walker for that Sentinel. Out comes the Force Choke, which is dumb. I hate it. Let's heal. I don't want to lose this IG-88, so let's heal him by 2. AI is going to resupply, which is smart. So now we know Vader can hit play this turn. So I'm going to need some answers. Let's see. We can Death Trooper Vader for 2. We can Academy Defense Walker and get that Sentinel. We can do Cell Block Guard. Let's go Cell Block Guard, and then we'll Death Trooper after Vader hits play. Perfect. Ozzel is out. IG-88 cannot attack the base, so guess we're swing with the Scout Trooper there. Now Scout Trooper are going to hit for 5, which is awesome. Vader's going to ping. Smart move. Takes care of a Sentinel. Deals 1 damage there. We're going to go ahead and pass. Let Vader come out. We'll play the Death Trooper, or we'll swing with IG-8. Now, IG could kill him. IG will die himself. No, IG could survive. We'll go for it. We're swinging. Yeah, 11 damage right there to his face. IG-88 has 1 health remaining, so we are dead once they play another black card. Death Trooper, we're going to pass. We're going to hold on to that. And a takedown and a force choke. I like our options. 2 kill events and Admiral Ozzel in play. We're going to go ahead and heal, so that way we don't have to worry about Vader taking out our IG-88. Droids healing droids, healing droids. but we're going to get force choked. How do you force choke a droid? I don't know. Pull some plugs, I guess. Like, if that's the equivalent of choking. All right, IG-88. Oh, surgical droid was the one that was taken out. That's cool. I'll take it. All right, let's give all of our damage units an experience token, giving that IG a little bit more health. Swing with that Scout Bike Pursuer. Drop that Conversion Lab. Kyler, I think you made a fun deck. I'm excited to run it against another deck and actually, you know, take a look at cards we weren't playing. Now I'd really love to see that Count Dooku. We could take out Ozzel, but instead we're going to take the initiative because remember, IG-88 cannot swing due to Entrenched. He can only swing on units, not bases. So no rush there. We have some options. AI is just, at this point, putting too many cards in their resource pile. And we'll finish that match. And we're just going to go ahead and take a look and pick a new deck to try. Or to put this deck against. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh no. Hit the wrong thing there. We just went right back, but we're going to head back to the main screen. Let's see. Restart game, please. No, there we go. So we played Made in 3 Minutes by Kyler. I believe this is still, though, a privately listed deck, so you need like the specific link to play it. What did we see? We saw the surgical droids. That seemed to work out really well. Defense Walker is smart to give us that extra sentinel late in the game, as well as strengthening our damaged units. The guard, yep. 2 Dookus. Okay, so now I know there was only 2. Death Troopers to work as kind of like dealing damage to your units, as well as your opponent's units. So, and 1 Palpatine, love it. Love the Palpatine. The 5th Brothers, 3 Troopers, and 3 Sisters. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We're seeing an Interceptor, Inferno 4, Advanced, and Fighter. So this is really good use of the TIE Advance, right? There's a lot of Imperial units here, a lot of people to pick through. The only choices you don't get are the Surgical Droid, Dooku, and that's it, right? Yeah, Surgical Droid and Dooku. So good. That's a good play there. We're getting Entrenched in the Lightsaber. Really love getting both of these. And then we have Force Choke, Force Throw, Takedown, and Vanquish. Now, probably the only thing I would maybe try here, Kyler, and to everyone else, I would say there's nothing wrong with trying a Force Throw. You're running enough Force units, and it can make a difference. When it comes down to sideboards, I'd probably put it in the deck, because Force Throw, I think, does really well against aggressive matchups. As long as you have that Force unit, you'll pay 1, you'll get rid of a card in their hand, which is super important to have them lose steam, and you can take out a unit on the board, probably. Really good against aggressive decks where most of their health sits at 3, and a lot of their units are 2 or 3 cost. So I think it's worth looking at. Again, you know, a lot of good stuff here. And we're going to put it up against Sarlacc Bait by Banana Crapshoot. So let's go ahead and put that on there. And I appreciate you letting me share the link. If anyone asks, you can always ask there in the comments, and I will send that over. Or you can find me in the Discord of Star Wars Unlimited and other socials. So, name is accurate. All right, let's go ahead and hop to the main board here. All right, take a mulligan. No, thank you. I'm just going to see how it works. All right, we're left with some high cost units, so we're going to drop the Dooku. We're going to drop the 7th Sister. Again, that's our 1 of 2 Dookus. And we're going to get Boba Fett. Yellow, black, yellow. So double cunning. See how we do here. The only thing we can play is a surgical droid, so we're going to play it. The opponent's going to play nothing, so we'll pass. They have the initiative. go on to turn 2, sorry. Second Seventh Sister, Death Trooper, and Fifth Brother. Too many good options to build upon, so Seventh Sister, you gotta go. Alright, not a fan of seeing Veers, so we're gonna go ahead and play the Death Trooper, deal 2 damage. We'll hit Veers for 2. And then we're going to use IG-88's ability here to attack with a unit. Gives it raid 1 since we have more units than our opponent. And we're going to hit the base instead. So hit the base, heal our Death Trooper for 2. We'll let Veers live because I think we'll have some better answers for him coming up. All right, we'll play that Interceptor. And out comes Bodhi. Bodhi Rook, right from Rogue One. Look at an opponent's hand, discard a non-unit card from it. All they can choose was the lightsaber, so that worked out. Let's go ahead and tie advance here. We'll put it on the Death Trooper. And General Veers is going to shoot first. Smart move. AI sometimes will surprise you and get you with that, nice cunning attack there. So my goal was to swing with the Death Trooper and then heal it with the surgical droid, but that's all right. Take what we can get. AI takes the initiative. We're going to pass. All right, we have a couple of options. Takedown's going to deal with Bodhi. And the Interceptor just gets better. Wow. Do I get rid of I'm going to get rid of Fifth Brother. It seems so silly because I love Fifth Brother. I think it's a perfect unit. Fits IG-88 very well. But, sometimes you just got to play for different parts of the turn. So in this sense, we're going to go ahead and take out Bodhi. Out comes Boba Fett. Action ability. We can definitely take out Boba. No, we need one more to take out Boba. We need 2. All right. We'll attack with a unit. We'll just attack with tie advance. I want to see what Boba does. We don't want to have Boba immediately swing into IG-88. Instead, he gives himself a surprise strike and hits our base for 7. Let's put our IG-88 into play now, giving all of our units raid 1. We'll have Death Trooper hit the base, and our AI opponent has already taken initiative after giving Death Trooper a -4. So let's go ahead and hit for 6 here, drop him down to 5, because he does not get the raid bonus himself. And see if we get an answer to deal with Boba Fett. We don't. We do not have one. I'll drop the Interceptor. Watch him play a spaceship now. Nope, a Viper droid. Okay, we can make that work. Man, we can do a lot of damage. We're gonna go for damage. It's a race. We're racing. That's what we're doing here against Boba Fett. Hit it for 6, drop it to 6. Boba's gonna go ahead and use the surprise strike to hit us for 5. Doesn't matter. We're gonna IG-88 for 5, and if they don't deal with that tie advance, the game is ours. So red, blue, yellow, black seems to do way better than some of the other color combinations. It's gone faster, and it's doing what a deck needs to do. When you play your leader, you want that to mean something, right? And I feel like this is one of the first decks where, including, not even my own, I only had that one good turn, but this is what you want with leaders. You want them to be game changers. So when they enter the field, you want that Star Wars Battlefront moment where there's that warning on the screen being Luke Skywalker has entered the game, right? IG-88 has entered the game. You want that worry. And I don't think right now IG-88 makes people worried. If someone's playing against me and they pull out IG-88, I think I have open fire, I have open barrage, I have answers for it. And I know what to expect. I'm going to have one turn to do it. Now, if they force me to activate all my turn or actions, and then put out IG-88, kind of like what I did a couple games ago, that's the right way. So, anyway, I'm loving trying out stuff. Loving playing more of these decks. If you're interested in creating decks, I suggest you on SWDB. Once you make them public, people can vote them. I'd love to try them out. Love to hear what other people are excited about playing over the next couple weeks as we get closer and closer to the release date. If you live in the Northwest area, I'll be doing 2 public demos at Guardian Games in Portland and Gone Guy Games in Beaverton in next weekend, I think, right? Yeah, 27th and 28th. Yeah, so it's coming up in a couple weeks. I'll be doing 2 of those events, and then there'll be a couple more in the Portland area, 4 in the Seattle area. Lots of stuff going on. You can check the new Star Wars Unlimited website. You can check social groups like Facebook or Reddit or Discord. Lots of information there. Stores, figuring out which stores are actually going to be promoting this game. We're seeing a lot of store support, a lot of organized play support. Really excited. And tomorrow's Wednesday. And Wednesday means we get a little bit more news and a live cast from Fantasy Flight Games, who have said they're going to be releasing multiplayer rules here soon. So we have Constructed, we have Sealed, and we have Draft, and I'm excited to see what multiplayer looks like as well. Appreciate everyone. If you had a good time, make sure you like and subscribe, and catch my other content like Sealed, Draft, or this type of constructed work every week.